People passing by the Manchester Community Garden at one end of the Manchester Rec Park, adjacent to the Rod and Gun Club, may notice something a little different the next time they stroll by: a new black chain-link fence surrounding the garden. The goal of the fence is to keep out all the little critters who also find the vegetables grown in the small garden tasty and delicious. The fence cost about $4,000 to construct and put in place, and was included in the town budget. Letitia Scordino, one of the Garden Club's members, described how it came about, with the help of several local volunteers, at a ribbon-cutting ceremony held on Friday, May 31st.
Over this course of 2 years, I've heard everyone in the garden complaining that we need a new fence because we can't keep the critters out of the fence and they're eating all our vegetables. So I thought, well, let me see what I could do. Now, we had a new town manager, Scott Murphy. So I did approach him. I said, Mr. Murphy, could you help us out? Because we're a nonprofit. We don't have that much money. Could you give us some money? And he said, well, you got to go to the select board and ask them. And I did. And they agreed. And they gave us money for our fence. So it seemed like it was really easy after that. But building a fence in Vermont is very, very difficult because it's full of rocks. So basically, a bunch of local businesses helped us to put up this fence. Earth Sky Time, Oliver Levis, with his son Elijah, came with an excavator for 3 hours on a Wednesday to take out all the rocks and the rubbish and whatever. And they were helped by Brown Enterprise, who lent them a flatbed to put the 12th-ton excavator on to bring it here. And the dingo, they lent us a dingo, Brown Enterprise, so that we could pull out the old fence. Casella, we had a dumpster here for, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months with all the garbage. We had so much garbage. And at RK Miles, they gave us the fabric and they're helping us with our metal. It was wonderful. It's just the whole community came together and it was a wonderful experience.
Manchester Town Manager Scott Murphy took it from there.
Yeah, before I do the honors here, I just want to say that, Letitia's kind of downplayed her role in this. She's really been an activist in getting this done, and she's worked with a lot of you behind the scenes. And I know when she had first come to me, she was looking for funds that we didn't have in the budget. And so I kind of told her that and kind of pushed her off, but she wouldn't go away. And so she kept coming back, and I said, well, here's the process. You can come to a budget meeting and talk and ask them to put it in next year's budget. So she did. She brought Carol along with her and a couple others, I think. Carol, and they asked, and Ivan said, let's fund this. So he didn't tell me how, but he said find some money, and we looked under the carpets and everything. We did find a little bit for this. So we're thankful for your efforts and all of you. Like she said, it's a great community project, and people are talking about it already. So
Really?
Without further ado, I will take these golden scissors and...
more people.
And then it was time to cut the ribbon and make it official.
1, 2, 3! Excellent.
I want to add one other thing that wasn't mentioned. We had 20 BBA students here for a service day, sophomores, and they did the chipping. And we had 24 lacrosse players and 3 coaches from the rec park that came in on 2 Monday nights, and they chipped. So if you go around, we figured it was 250 wheelbarrows full of chips it was going to take. And those girls worked so hard on 2 Monday nights and 1 whole day in the rain, the BBA students, and we were very grateful for the students that help in the garden as well.
Yeah.
Judy Galt, another member of the community garden, told us how the fence would help.
Well, we had several problems. We had groundhogs that came in here regularly, and of course lots of bunnies. 2 years ago we had a moose that broke through that side of the fence, tromped around in the garden, and then went out that side of the fence. So, but mostly the groundhogs and the bunnies were eating everybody's vegetables. So you can see they put up, a lot of people put up little individual fences to keep.
So how would one, if one was interested in getting a plot here, how would they go about doing that?
Well, we have, usually we put something in the news guide and something in the journal. This year, Brian Van Horn and Anita Sheldon received phone calls from people, and they said, how can we get into the community garden? And those, Anita and Brian referred those people to me, and I contacted them, and they came by. And so we've discovered Brian Van Horn to contact him, or Anita Sheldon, and they know who to
Brian
contact.
is the head of...
He's the head of the rec park here,
okay.
and Anita, of course, is our town clerk. We were going to put a sandwich board up at the park center, but we were getting so many calls we didn't have to do that, and we are full now.
So 40 is the total capacity and no more spaces left.
No more spaces left this year, but we do have a fair amount of turnover. I'd say we have maybe 3 or 4 plots that become available every year. Someone tries it, and then they decide it's too much work, or they just change their mind and decide not to keep it.
The community garden has been in place for more than 15 years, and the new black fence will help boost the yield of fresh veggies to be harvested. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.